Minister Louis Farrakhan, a man given to us by God himself. Let us receive the man of the hour, the man of this time. He is the national representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Please receive. Going there, I'm gonna look you up. Record what you can. Farrakhan! Farrakhan! 82 years young. Farrakhan! Farrakhan! Farrakhan!
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I hate being behind this glass.
Love you! Love you!
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we give Him praise and thanks for all of His prophets and the scriptures which they brought. We thank Him for Moses and the Israelite prophets that gave us the Torah or the Old Testament. We thank Him for Jesus, who gave us the Injil or the Gospel, and the apostles that gave us what is called the New Testament. We thank Him for Muhammad ibn Abdullah, through whom the last revelation to humanity before the judgment of this present world, that book is called the Holy Quran. I am a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I could never thank Allah enough for His merciful intervention in our affairs, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who is in the world and is championing the liberation struggle of our people, particularly in the United States of America. I greet all of you, my dear and wonderful brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
First, I want to say to all of you, I am honored beyond words to be here, standing on this rostrum in front of this hallowed building, in front of I don't know how many, I'm not going to guess, but I thank Almighty God, Allah, for every single one of you that decided to answer the call to demand justice for else. I watched the program in my hotel room, and I want to say how happy I am to be a part of such a great showing of unity of the Aboriginal people of our planet. I want our Native American family and Brother Night Wolf, my brother, I'm sorry that they cut you a little short, but I want you to know how favored you are as a Native American giant standing for his people. The native people who came in their native dress, this is not like going to a football game with the Redskins. They're not here as some mascot. They are here because they are the original owners of this part of the earth, and we honor them with the honor that they are justly due.
That's right.
Their suffering in their land is very great. So all of those who cry for justice, no cry is greater than those who have suffered the most. And those who have suffered the most are the indigenous people, not only of America, but of the Western Hemisphere, and those of us who were brought into America not as pilgrims, not as Puritans, not seeking another way of worship, but in the holds of ships to be made the burden bearers of the real citizens of America. It's hypocritical for us to say that we are citizens and we are still trying to get civil rights while at the same time we are denied the human right of self-determination. I'm honored to be here in front of this great house that was built by black slaves.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think I'm encroaching on any American by standing on the ground that was paid for.
All right.
With the sweat
Yes, sir.
and the blood of our ancestors. I'm honored to be here and am grateful to Congressman Danny Davis for having shepherded through both houses a joint resolution that allows us to be on the Capitol steps. I was so touched by our Native brothers and sisters and our Hispanic brothers and sisters, and some who are black may say, Farrakhan, why are you talking to all of these different ethnicities? We have to accept our position. I loved my sister and those standing with her who championed the call that Black Lives Matter. I felt so happy to see her and to hear her and to know, and for her to know that she and Black Lives Matter are welcome, have a cherished spot because they represent the future leadership. These are not just young people who happen to wake up one morning. Ferguson ignited it all. So all the brothers and sisters from Ferguson, all the brothers and sisters that laid in the streets, all the brothers and sisters that challenged the tanks, we are honored that you have come to represent our struggle and our demand. Again, I'm grateful for the choir that sung and the brothers and sisters that sang, for Brother Rasul Muhammad and his wonderful song that he wrote about the great liberator Emiliano Zapata, and to all of you who made this day so far what it is. Every member of the clergy that prayed this morning, the Muslim, the Christians, the various prayers that were said, the native people who have their native places, their teepees and whatnot on the grounds, they're sacred people. And they deserve justice. And we, in unity, will not only get justice for ourselves, but justice for all those who are deprived of that precious essential of life itself. On this beautiful mall, which was a slave center hundreds of years ago, right here, down this mall, there used to be slave pens. And in that movie, 12 Years a Slave, the black brother was brought here, down on my left side, your right side, in a little yellow house where he was severely beaten before he was sent off to be a slave unjustly for 12 years. I feel the cry of our ancestors, the pain of those on whose shoulders we stand.
Yes.
I feel that the ancestors are happy that a young generation has arisen. I saw the faces of the young in line trying to come in, and they made it, I guess, safe, but they made it difficult. But the young stood in their place until they could get in, because that's who we work for.
Yeah.
We who are getting older, and I'm speaking now of myself and my generation.
Yes, sir, we're here.
What good are we if we don't prepare young people to carry the torch?
That's right.
To the next step.
All right.
What good are we if we think we can last forever and not prepare others to walk in our footsteps. So to the young that are here, we honor you. We know who you are, and we will not forsake our duty to you.
No, we won't.
There are some elders that are not worthy to pass on the legacy of their cowardice to our young people. Our young people will not listen to those made in America, made by America, and want to bow down in America to that which has given them hell. These young people are looking for fearless leadership.
Yeah.
But leadership that cannot be bought.
Say it again. Say it again.
Leadership that is willing to sacrifice its life to see a better future for our children. I'm honored that my brother and friend, Father Flager, is here, who is a great fighter in Chicago. I'm honored that Choir Master Barry is here, and I thank Allah for her and her dear departed husband, who really showed us the way. I thank Allah for all of you who want to sacrifice in some way to make a difference.
Yes, sir.
There can be no freedom, no justice, no equity without the willingness of some to sacrifice for the rest.
Yes, sir.
What good is life if we're not free? What good is it to be alive and every day that you live, you see your people suffering? What good is it to continue in life under tyranny? So there must come a time when we say enough is enough.
Yeah, that's right.
It must change. And I am willing to do whatever it takes to bring about that change. I thank Allah for Brother Macandal from Haiti and Brother Vladimir from the Dominican Republic, two great brothers that Islam has brought together, but the machinations of white supremacy is trying to keep apart. Haiti and the Dominican Republic used to be called Hispaniola, and it's the first place that the wicked one, Columbus, set his feet. Tomorrow they say it's his birthday. I think it's tomorrow or the day after, Monday. But no indigenous people want to celebrate. A man who came and dislodged them. A man who came seeking a new route to India and ended up in America. And when they saw the original people that they saw, well, they must be Indian. Because we white folk don't make mistakes like that. But they're not just Indians, nor are we African Americans. We were here before a continent named Africa was named. We were certainly here before America's Vespucius. This part of the world was named after him. So we don't diminish ourselves by naming ourselves after Johnny-come-latelys.
Okay.
We are the aboriginal people of our planet, and before there was a planet, we were here with God in the beginning. Black woman, you are not the second self of man alone. You are the second self of God.
All right.
And as the second self of God, any man that would disrespect a female,
Come on now, speak on it.
enemy of God.
All right.
She is the greatest gift from God to man. May I pause for a moment and say to women, your language must change as to how you address yourselves.
Come on now.
You should never call another woman a bitch.
Come on now. Right. Come on now. Thank you, sir.
Get that word out of our language.
Yes, sir.
No female is after a dog. Every female is after God. So all of you black men that like to use such words, pull it out of your tongue before your tongue is pulled out of your head.
Yeah.
All right, you hear that, you hear it.
All right now.
Every woman is from the Creator. Her womb is the workshop of God.
Yeah.
So when a man sees a woman, he should bow in honor to her.
Yeah.
The Native Americans can teach us much in the respect of women.
Yeah.
I've been up on the reservations, I've been in the Anipi, I've been to some of their ceremonies. And the native people, the men, draw blood, hanging from trees and carrying skulls of animals in dirt attached to the flesh of their back in tremendous pain until the flesh snaps and blood pours out. The native people do that to pay honor to the woman, for she is in labor, enduring the pain of death to bring forth new life. And there's always a show of blood before the birth. So the man is trying to equal himself up to the woman. That means that the native man who disrespects your female, you have lost your way. And any black man under the sound of our voice, any red man, any yellow man that will traffic in women and girls, you are worthy of death itself. Now, through the womb of a woman, every great one was born. And every no good one was born.
All right.
But my dear sisters who are here today, if you are expectant, I would love for you to place your right hand over your womb.
Yeah.
And I want to ask Allah that every woman who is pregnant, that she would bring her child to term. And I pray that that child will be a warrior for a brand new world. And that brand new world will come out of the womb of women with strong men as their protectors. Now it is your body. You can do with it as you please.
Tell him again.
But it would be so tragic if the next Sitting Bull was aborted. It would be tragic if the next Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or the next Moses or Abraham or Jesus was flushed away.
All right.
You don't know who your child is going to be.
That's right. That's right.
If you are wise, your child could be the answer to your prayers.
Yeah.
Why do you pray, brothers and sisters? You pray that things would be made better. You whose fathers or mothers or cousins or aunts have died from cancer, don't you want to see a cure for such a disease? That cure is not coming out of the sky. That cure is coming from the womb of a female that may think she is not important. But out of that womb could come the cure of every disease that humankind is suffering from. There was a strange circumstance around my birth. And my mother did not wish to carry me to term. And in those days, they didn't have abortion clinics. Women who wanted to abort the new life used hangers. Metal hangers. My mother tried 3 times to abort my life because the circumstances under which she was pregnant were uncomfortable for her, and she didn't want to face what my being a child, light-skinned, when the man she was with was dark-skinned, and so was she. And she wouldn't be able to tell him that I was his. So after the 3rd time trying to abort my life, she said, "Let it be." And she prayed and prayed
You can do it and then touch it.
for God
Focus.
to come into her life and give her peace and strengthen her for what she thought she would have to face. She didn't know that those circumstances and her prayers went into what was in her womb. She didn't know that her insecurity because of a circumstance made her feel secure in the prayers she was sending up to God. And so she gave birth to a child who knew God from an early age. She gave birth to a child that never in my life did I find refuge in any man. My refuge and my protection was always grounded in my faith in a superior being. So many people wonder, why is Farrakhan so bold? It's because I am free from fear. How could Farrakhan tell the FBI and the CIA and the IRS to go to hell? When others tremble at their name, they don't have a name big enough to make a man who has been shown the arm of God to be afraid of a man who can never do to me nothing more than what God would have them to do. And if he permits it, I'm for it.
All right.
Even if it's my death. Our problem is there's too much fear among us. And fear is what takes a man and makes him a punk.
I'll say it again. Say it again.
Women are showing more strength. As Sister Ava said earlier, she's the natural protector of what her womb produces. And sisters, you should never love any man more
Hey, say it again.
than the love you have for what your womb produces if that man becomes a violator.
Amen.
Knowing God, not talking God, but knowing God is what takes fear from your heart. A fearful people can't be free. A fearful people will bow down when it appears that the enemy is so strong and we are so weak. As I was preparing this morning to come, I was thinking about us who are preachers, who can quote the Psalms. The Lord is my strength and He is my salvation. Of whom then shall I fear? Of whom then shall I be made afraid? But then when the enemy comes and challenges his words, we find him weakening, running away, leaving the sheep to be eaten by the wolves. That's why Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd will lay down his life for the sheep. Any man in leadership that is not willing to give his life for the flock that supports him and feeds him and clothes him is not worth of being a leader. Many in leadership today are willing to take a little money.
Say
It grieves me to see how many of us will sell out the future of our people for a little money that allows us to get an upgrade in our automobile.
All right.
Or an upgrade in our suit.
All right.
Or shoes. And I ask myself the question, when will corruptible put on incorruptible?
All right.
Because all corruption is an enemy of the progress of man.
All right.
All corruption, all deviation from honesty and integrity. You say, well, Farrakhan, I mean, my God, what are you saying? I'm saying that if you love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your brother as yourself, nobody could give you enough money.
That's right.
To make you betray yourself.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
When I first started rebuilding the nation of Islam in Chicago, a man came to me and said, Farrakhan, everybody got a price. I wondered who he had met. That everybody that he knew had a price. I said, well, this man don't have a friend. No way. Because a friend will never betray his friend. How many in this audience have been called by the government authorities and told to lie because they wanted a certain person, and if you lied, they would make it easier for you in your sentence? How many of us have sold out to get a lighter sentence and made your brother who was innocent a victim of the justice system that is unjust by telling lies? I'm talking to you like this. I had some notes that I put down, but I haven't opened it. Because this is not a day 10, 10, 15. Hell no. If this is a day and we come out and go back to doing what we were doing before we got here,
All right.
then this is all vanity.
That's right.
This is vanity. But vanity is the work of someone who's wrapped up in himself. We have no time for vain expression. Those whom the world honors are those who live for others, and in their death they are never dead. There's always someone coming up to refer to their greatness because they lived for others and their living was not in vain. Why am I saying that at this point? We're facing another election. The Republicans have, I don't know how many. Is it 17? Well, it was. And they are really
Candidates that were vying for
like the pretty girl who is well formed, showing her wares, so that some man with money will buy her. Who wants to be a whore? No, listen to me. Do you think people with money put their money behind you if they don't expect something from you?
Hey.
That's what makes this a farce.
Sad.
$3.3 billion in the last few years has been paid by lobbyists to this house. But what are they lobbying for? Laws that may not be in the best interest of the people?
Listen.
How then can you look in the mirror at yourself when you are bought and paid for whore? And then what do you get for being a whore?
Teach it.
John Fitzgerald Kennedy lies across the water in a beautiful grave with an eternal flame. And John Fitzgerald Kennedy had a beautiful home. He had boats. He had so much material wealth. But the end is the same. A spot in a little coffin and 6 feet of dirt. So the Bible says it right. Naked came I in the world, and naked go I out. So what are you lying and cheating and stealing for? To give something to your children who, if you lied and cheated and stole to get what you got, you couldn't teach them value. So all that you left is squandered by ignorant children. Don't you think it would be better to be like Dr. King? No, I'm very serious now. He didn't have a lot of money.
No.
probably like marching band.
He could have if he were a sellout.
Yeah.
Malcolm didn't have a lot of money. He could have. Great ones don't amass wealth to leave to children. Great ones amass wealth to leave to institutions that live after they're dead and gone. The grave is waiting for every one of us that are gathered here today. But why are you saying this, Farrakhan? Because this is not a moment, as my sister said. This is a movement. I'm going to say it again. This is not a moment.
All right.
This is a movement.
That's right.
When the brothers and sisters arose in Ferguson, you didn't have any money. You had a principle. A principle that you were willing to suffer for, that you felt was bigger than yourself and your life, and the withstanding of pain. But all of a sudden, the enemy comes with money. If we give you this, will you come out of the street? And some of us, we're all poor, but some of us see that as an opportunity. So the movement begins to die The moment those who lead the movement take money as a bribe to stop hurting a force that you're coming against. The demand for justice demands integrity.
Right.
The demand for justice demands selflessness. The demand for justice is bigger than all our lives. So the demand for justice must give us the will to wish to sacrifice our life, because the many are greater than the one.
Yes, sir.
And so we're here today. I have some hard truths to say, and I want you to bear with me, because I want to show you why there's no government on this earth, not one, that can give the people what the people desire, of freedom, of justice, and equity. Look around you, brothers and sisters. Look at the trees. Look at the flowers. Look at the bushes. All of it starts with a seed. A simple seed. Seeds come in colors, different colors and shapes and sizes. But a seed hides what God has put within it. Until and unless the seed is placed in the proper environment.
All right.
So all these lovely living things that are around us, all of them start from a seed, and that seed is planted in the earth. It is nurtured by water and that magnificent sun. And then the seed swells and bursts, sending a root down. And then a shoot comes up. And then what was within manifests itself. And it is then a glory of God, its creator. You all started, we all started from a sperm, a seed. God is not wasteful. 100 million sperms may be released at one time. Some even say 1 billion. But only one can fertilize that egg. Well, God, if you're not wasteful, what happens to the other sperm? What do we do with it? That sperm becomes food for the new life. We have a farm, and every time we're sowing seeds to raise a crop of beans or corn or whatever vegetation we desire, the birds sense seeds are being sown. So you see the birds collect over the land. If the seed doesn't go deep enough, the bird flies down and the seed becomes food. God wastes nothing. But you are a seed. I am a seed. We have not yet been placed in the proper spiritual or physical environment that would cause the seed to swell and burst and let what is within come out, that we could say, I am a part of the glory of God. So Elijah Muhammad wanted the Muslim program to be brought before this house.
Right.
I don't know anybody in the house that I could trust to bring his program. So I came to bring it myself. As a student. Now I want you to think about what I'm about to say. This program has been appearing on the back page of Muhammad Speaks and the final call since 1961. The Muslim program. You say, well, I don't want to hear that. I ain't no Muslim. Okay. What are you? What are you? If I ask you to tell me your nationality, you'll point to some little spot on the earth that you think defines who you are. That's limited. I'm from Georgia. Good for you. I'm from Mississippi. I'm from Alabama, but I'm from New York. Right. But that does not define who you are. I'm from Jamaica, man. I'm from the Caribbean. Or I'm from Africa. I'm from Ghana, Guinea, Mali. That don't define you. You are defined by the nature in which you are created. And if your nature is the same as the nature of God, no land mass can define you. So the Quran says, set your face for religion, being upright, the nature made by Allah, in which He has created man, and there is no altering Allah's creation. A dog is a dog.
That's right.
Not because you call him a Spitz or a Terrier or a Great Dane. Those are names of different species of dogs. But the dog is defined by the nature of its creation. I don't care whether it's a Spitz or Terrier or what do you call it, a shepherd or a pit bull. If it's a male, whenever it sees a hydrant, it will lift its leg. There's nobody can teach it how to do that. That's what dogs do. If you understand your nature, then you will understand the unlimited possibilities of the human being. God created no human being without depositing in that human being a gift that can be expressed to an excellent degree. That's the nature of God. That's not an unexcellent tree. It's excellent. It's not an unexcellent bird. It's a bird. It's a worm. It's a flea. It's an ant. It's the sun. It's the moon. It's the stars. It's an excellent creation from an excellent creator. And you are an excellent creation from an excellent creator. but you have to know yourself
Yes.
and your relationship to God in order to extract what is within and bring it out to the glory of God. Now, a lot of black people that work in this house,
Speak on it.
listen carefully to what I'm about to say. A lot of black people who have mastered their particular sport or their particular discipline, and they feel excellent. You know, they walk with a certain heaviness and certain pride. And when they come in the room, some of them just suck up the atmosphere. Oh, look, there's so-and-so. There's so-and-so. As though so-and-so is greater than you.
That's right.
They're only great in your eyes because you have not focused your eyes on the greatness of yourself. So, look, brothers and sisters, the greatness of God is part of the thing that makes us so dissatisfied with government. You're yearning for something that the government can't give you.
That's
You're
right.
born to be free.
Yeah.
The Muslim program says we want freedom. We want a full and complete freedom. That's not just what Muslims want. That's what every human being wants. But how will you define a full freedom and a complete freedom? If I'm a Sikh, and I'm 50 years old and I'm still a Sikh, have never been planted in the right environment to develop myself, then I don't have freedom.
That's right.
But when I'm free and fully developed, then I have attained a full and complete freedom.
Yeah.
Can this house give you that? Come on.
No.
Well, you don't have it.
That's right.
So what are we petitioning this for? They can't give you what's not in their nature to give you.
Yeah.
We just making a demand because it's right to do it, but we know they can't do it. Well, wait a minute, Farrakhan. Why can't they? Let me show you why. The other day, for the first time, I said, let me go out and visit all the monuments that are on this mall where we as a people will be standing. And I quietly, as quiet as I could, slipped into the Jefferson Memorial. And I stood there looking at a 19-foot statue of a great American. Now this mall is hallowed ground for us, but it's also sacred ground for those who love America. And Thomas Jefferson was one of the most brilliant of the founding fathers of this country. If you read his